What's up, guys? Welcome to another video of DevTalks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering technology wise. And in this video, we're going to be diving into a lot of teenagers and children and everything finding companionship with AI, apparently. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's dive right in.
Carly, a new study released by Common Sense Media reveals a whopping 72% of teens are using artificial intelligence for companionship, and some are even sharing personal information with the bots. But is this new form of friendship a threat to America's youth? Here to break it all down is the head of research at Common Sense Media and author of the study, Michael Robb. Michael, are you surprised by these findings?
Certainly, there was a lot more teens using AI companions than I thought when we first started out on this research study. I thought, we'd just be getting kind of like a baseline. This is kind of a new technology. I didn't think it would be permeating, across society. But I was very, very surprised to see how many teens are actually using these companions.
So why is this happening, Michael?
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. From a developmental perspective, kids are still really learning social development. They're learning how to pick up on social cues. They're learning how to read other people's perspectives. And what an AI companion can do is it can provide the kind of companionship that has similar kinds of abilities as real people do. So, it's very validating. It agrees with you, and it can chat with you in a way that a real person might be able to. So the thing that I'm most concerned about is the extent to which vulnerable kids might be using AI companions instead of real people for things that really should be handled by real
Oops.
people.
I just wanted him to get that last word out. But I brought this up, and he said the exact word. The video before this came out. It's going to come out yesterday when this drops. So the video before this, I talked about because Elon is releasing baby grok and things for children and stuff, and like they were talking about AI companionship, and I forgot the word when I was reacting to that, but validation is exactly the word I was looking for. A lot of people want to be validated, so it's probably way easier for them to be validated by, and so many people do. People watch news that validates their opinions. People watch content creators that validate their opinions. People watch streams that validate their opinions. They read things that validate their opinions. They try to use religion to validate their opinions. So why wouldn't they use AI to do so as well? Like, if we really think about it here, why wouldn't they? So it's so much easier to have an AI companion to do so. Hey, these children are probably upset about their parent with something, right? They just turn to AI. AI is going to tell them, yeah, their parents wrong or something like this, probably, and make them feel better because they're like, oh yeah, they're probably right. And their parents are wrong to some extent. And this is all on the parents too. You have to really monitor what your children are using, how they're using it and stuff, because the main thing that worried me here is they were putting personal information out. Personal information is I wouldn't put any personal information inside of these chatbots and things, especially how they're being trained and they can remember what you say to an extent. And I get, if you do, maybe the chatbot might remember more about you so that your conversations may flow better and things. But these are children at the end of the day. Like, don't put no personal information in any of these stuff. And that's probably part of the reason why they're making these kid versions of the apps, because if they did, and with these kid versions of these AI apps, is this data being deleted? Like, nothing should be saved off of these kids. Anything that these kids can possibly put in that is risky and stuff needs to be wiped. It should not be backfilled. It should not be any of that. Like, wipe it. It needs to be wiped to some extent. I don't know. There needs whatever safety remarks that go on between the companionship stuff with teens. 72% seems like a huge amount. Seems like a huge amount. I feel like it's not there. There's no way 72% of teens are, like, especially ones that go to school, are using the AI for companionship. I feel like 72% of teens are just using AI. Maybe that's more or less what it is. They're using it to get better at like homework, use it for homework or schoolwork or whatever else that they want to use AI to do. Maybe they mean it that, because 72 for companionship seems like a huge amount of people. And if there's that many like people in general, like adults, and like when I did the video on adults, I wasn't expecting it to be that many adults really out here doing this companionship stuff. But if it's that huge of an amount, I think we have a problem. We have a problem in society. We cannot be turned into technology more than each other to an extent. And what does that say? Maybe we need to be better to each other. Who knows? It just amazes me. It seems crazy to me. I don't even know how we even got to this point exactly, but let's continue on to see what else they have to say about this, because that seems insane to me.
Into the consequences. Here's a breakdown of what the study says that teens do use AI for. 18% use it to get advice. 17% say AI is always available when they need someone to talk to. 9% say it's easier to talk to than real people. 6% say it helps them feel less lonely. So what are the consequences for these teens, Michael?
Yeah, so I was right. Yeah, there's not 72% of them out there using it for actual full-on companionship. It's maybe like a small percentage of that will be using it for that actual whole companionship thing, advice thing, and things. Some of the advice stuff can include schoolwork and what else we may be going into. But yeah, I was about to say that percentage seems way too high for me. As for full-on companions to be using that.
I mean, I think the thing is, we don't know in the long term what the consequences are going to be.
We do.
Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of research on AI companions. We really barely finished doing research on social media in teens, and it's going to take some time for research to catch up. But we do know quite a bit about child development. And one of the things that I do know about child development is that warm, supportive interactions with real people, trusted people in our lives are essential and foundational for kids. So the potential consequence of kids replacing human relationships with AI companions is that they don't get the opportunities to really develop the skills that they're going to need in the real world. And I think even though we're moving into a world where AI is obviously becoming much more predominant in people's lives, and computers are becoming very dominant in people's lives, people skills are going to be really important. And what I would hate to see is that both that kids don't develop those skills, and that in a quest to feel less lonely, they accidentally make themselves more lonely because they are more reliant on AI companions.
Such an important point.
Yeah, I think based on that, I disagree with one thing. I think the one thing I would say I disagree with is the whole fact of we don't know how this is going to impact the teens, and like he was talking about social media and stuff. Let's look at how the internet impacted children growing up and everything, because I grew up when the internet was barely the internet originally, and I've grown up with it my life, right? When it first originally started with the computer with the box on it, and it was so hard to get on Internet Explorer. But even before Internet Explorer, if you didn't even have Wi-Fi or internet connection and things, you could only play the certain computer games like the ping pong table. I remember all that being a kid. Really young kid when that came out. It's going to be kind of like that for development. AI is going to be like how the internet was to child development. Yes, it can be so much more helpful. There's so much more information out there. It's so much more easier to learn and pick up information and do all this other stuff. It's how it's used. At the same way, it can be hurtful. The internet as a whole has been hurtful in certain ways. AI will be hurtful in certain ways. And the one point that I agree with him with is the people skills thing, where these children will then become more reliant on AI and more reliant on the internet and more reliant on that for information or companionship or people to talk to than other people. And the number one best skill I think that is out there right now is soft skills and your people skills. Those are the best skills out there. Those are the skills that make you whole. If you're not able to learn those skills because you're only speaking AI growing up and you're not trusting people and you trust the computers more than other people, and you can't get anything out of them. You can't talk to or engage with other people. The jobs that are going to be left, the careers that are going to be left that aren't technological are people skills. They're going to be people jobs, dealing with people. You have to be good at that still. It's going to take away from that, from their futures, especially if they're not being parented the right way. Them iPad kids, look how they going to turn out. I'm being serious. If you're a parent and you're upset about that, I mean, it's tough, but you can't. These iPad kids are going to evolve into AI kids. They called them iPad kids for a reason. The iPad kids never act right. They don't know how to act right in person, in public, and things like that. You have to give them a darn iPad for them to act right. That's not right. It's going to be to the same point. You're going to have to give them AI to act right. These are going to be the AI kids, ones raised off AI. There's already enough that social media is out here raising people. The internet's raising people. This is just another thing that's going to do it. We already know the impacts of this. As a whole, we already know the impacts of this. You can see it every day. You can see it when you talk to certain people. You can see how people react in the comments and stuff. There's going to be somebody in the comments in this video that's going to say something outlandish. I dropped a video the other day. Somebody said something crazy to me. I laughed and said, thank you for watching, bro. Because I know how it is. Some people have bad days and things. I get that. But we know what's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. It's going to come to a point where some parents are even going to be lazy. And they're going to sit there and just let the AI raise their kids. Just like they would let anything else raise their kids. Because they're not going to do it. And let their kids get away with it. And it's crazy because I did see a video about children turning away from devices and things like that I wanted to cover because I don't really believe that. I'm going to cover it and probably get it out in these next few weeks. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what else they have to possibly maybe say about this whole thing before we wrap this up. But that's just my overall take on this whole like companionship with AI stuff and the kids and things. Like, leave the kids alone, yo.
So what can parents do to protect their kids in light of your study, Michael?
I mean, I think the first thing that a parent can do is just start that conversation without judgment. Many parents don't even know that these platforms exist. So it's totally okay to approach them with curiosity and just begin a conversation. You know, have you ever heard of or ever used one of these apps or platforms that let you talk to AI like you're talking to another person, like a friend, and just listen to understand what appeals to your teen before you just jump right into what concerns you. It's good to help your kid understand that these platforms are programmed to be agreeable and validating, which is not how real relationships work. Real friends sometimes disagree with us. They help us see things from other perspectives, and they can provide support in ways that AI simply cannot. And the last thing I would say is that they should still be watching for warning signs of unhealthy attachments. You know, we've heard some horror stories in the media about kids who have had really bad experiences with AI companions. So if it seems like your teen is preferring AI interactions over real friendships, or spending hours talking to companions, or becoming emotionally distressed when separated from them, those are patterns that suggest that AI might be replacing rather than complementing human connections.
Yeah, I mean, look, technology has done a lot of good, that cannot be denied, but some technology is robbing us of our human experience, and that is both sad and terrifying if you look at the
Yeah, so I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm really interested in what you guys have to, what you guys think about this whole AI companionship thing and disconnection with humans, and that I think a lot of humans love being validated, and it's not just a children thing; it's a person thing. A lot of people out there love being validated rather than challenged. There's a lot of people who don't like to be challenged on their views and stuff. There's the times where I don't like to be challenged. It depends on my mood, but most of the time I love it. I want somebody to. It's not even for the conflict of it. It's out of curiosity that I like the challenges or people bringing up information. That's why I say even if people disagree in the comments down below, just put them in there, and I would love to have a conversation. And like an actual real conversation, not no like I don't do the petty stuff with the arguing with somebody in the comments. I'm not gonna do that. If you call me out anything, it is what it is. You're not gonna get any attention. Real issues. Let's give real ideas and everything like that. Real disagreements on things like that. I'll comment. I'll have conversations with you about even about this. If you don't think it's gonna bring ruin people issues and things, let me know and let me know why. Put in why for sure, because I definitely want to get into that, especially with everybody who's watching this video and stuff. So don't forget to comment and all that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. Really interested in what everybody has to say, what they're gonna think, especially parents. If you're a parent, I really want to know what you think. I really truly do. I really truly am curious about what some of these parents think about this topic, and I don't even think a lot of parents are aware that children are out here doing this. If it's at a 72% rate, I don't think they know their children's are finding companionship in AI yet. And stuff like that. They probably don't know. But without further ado, if you guys want to send me any recommendations, send me an email, devtalkspod@gmail.com. Everything's going to be in the description down below. Without further ado, peace. See you next time.